Hey everyone, I am having the best of blueberry flavored coffee ever. This is not an advertisement. Welcome to Echo Art with Carmella-T. I hope everyone's having a beautiful day. You know what? I love working with scrap fabrics. You know, I made these coasters. I made this coaster actually with you guys here on TikTok. So we were also making these a long time ago on YouTube. So I got this cup today. It's like brand new at the thrift shop. Now over on my main channel, Echo Art with Carmella-T on YouTube, I share a couple of thrift shop runs that I just did, and a free pile of some pretty beautiful, awesome clothes that I came across on the way to the thrift shop. So I share that with you. But today, I am jumping on here because I had an idea. And I want to share with you. So, I'll put that right there. So, as you know, let me get this little case before we get too far here. I want to share with you. So as you know, I'm getting ready for an art and craft fair amongst other events. And one of the other events actually I've been thinking about a lot as I'm making mushrooms. It's called Earth's Bounty. It's an exhibit coming up, and I've been thinking about it. And I didn't want to make like the typical, what is it called, cornucopia, you know, where they put fruit in the basket and this and that. But I did want to, been thinking a lot about Earth's Bounty, right? Now this is not what we're making today, but I just want to show this to you. I do have to have that coffee. I'm close by. Anyway. These little mushrooms, okay, this one I kind of left like that because I want to show the class that is upcoming on September 25th of this month at River Arts. Hi Naomi, Secret and the Best, and HJ, hi, and Heather, thanks for being here. Appreciate it. We're going to be in that class making these mushrooms. Here, I'll hold these up. I'll put that one down for a minute. We'll be making these mushrooms. Now, I am for the class making the base because I want them to have something already made that they can put their mushrooms in. If I have enough of these teeny tiny little pots, we'll use those, and then the mushroom, instead of going in the base, will go right in the pot. But I want them to see, I'm going to just put these to the side for the minute. I want them to be able to see and try to manipulate the base. This is called splay, okay? You can use it as an aesthetic, or you can use it, typically you will use it to needle felt down a base, you know, for your mushroom. So that this is the class I'll be teaching upcoming. So we're going to put those to side because today I jumped on here for another reason. I made these, as you know, not too long ago. I got to take these up. I had made these. These are just kind of like a little, but like a little dragonfly, butterfly type deal. I was thinking dragonfly, kind of just abstract dragonfly when I did these. Okay, you might remember me sharing these with you. So I'm just taking those out first. And I was just playing around with different things you can do. And what they are, what they're supposed to be, are, thank you, Annika Sa. Thank you, and Jean Stevenson. Thanks for being here, guys. And Panda's Custom. And Kaylin. Thanks for being here. So, these are all scrap fabrics, but they're supposed to be like put in a plant and kind of like a little decor. And I made these wings like really long, thinking like to, because I have plants that I want them to have something to lean on. You know what I mean? So you put them in and they're kind of pretty, and maybe the leaves of your plant or something can lean on these. So that was my thought with these. Okay, so we got those. Now, today, what the idea that I had, these were all packed because I brought these down to the, what they call the art hop, you know, when I did the fashion show this past weekend. Boy, that was a lot of fun, guys. I gotta tell you, that was fun. It really was. But these, after the fashion show, like the day after, they wanted the artists to come back, and I just didn't have the energy to get back there Saturday, but I did go back Sunday. Thank you. And I wanted to see the reaction people had with these. At this particular show, people were there for design. I'm going to tell you right now. This is an artsy craftsy. It really is art and craft. They weren't, a few people were interested, but not too many. And that's okay, because they were there really to look at the major garments that people were upcycling, and they were there to look at the designs. But guess what? I got an idea. Let me just put these guys up there. Today, while I was making these mushrooms for the class, okay, showing them so when they come in, they can see the mushrooms. That class, by the way, is September 25th in Morrisville, Vermont, if you're in Vermont or coming up, and it will be 5:30 in the afternoon. That's when it will begin. So come on up. If you need help with funds, they have financial assistance. So, and I supply all the supplies. I have all the supplies. So, but anyway, as I was thinking about the art and craft show in November, I'm like, I would like mushrooms for that, but I'm thinking something different. I want mushroom ornaments, and I want to make more of these little gnomes as ornaments. But let me put these guys back over here for a minute. So those gnomes are made with these. This is what they're made with. These cork. I have a whole, look, I've been buying these at the thrift shop, so I have a whole bowl. These are wine corks. And so I thought, well, why not use the wine corks to make some mushroom ornaments. So this is what I'm doing. So I'm going to show you. I just want to hold these up for a minute. So I'm crocheting this one. I'll finish that with you. But look, I'm making the little mushrooms. For you crocheters out there, you can see these are only 3 rounds. You can do 3 or 4 rounds, making your last round just a single crochet to tighten it. I know, aren't they? You know what, too? Look, they're going to pop because, look, I don't know if you remember the yarns I showed you I got at the thrift shop. These are 100% wool. So this is what I'm doing, okay? Besides enjoying blueberry coffee with you. Making mushrooms. Okay, so this is what you do. This is super simple crochet. This is, now I started with like a J hook, started with a J, and I went smaller for the last couple of rows or the last row. Just go smaller and just do a single crochet. Go, just maybe even skip a stitch here and there, because what you want to do is you want to tighten the last row. You want to tighten it because you want to pull it in like a bowl. You know what I mean? You want to be able to have it so that it's the shape of a mushroom, right? Yeah, and that's how you do it. So super simple, a little easier than this. This you have to really shape it, doing your needle felting. But this, okay, so I'm thinking this is a nice little crafty thing to make. If any of you go to art and craft, yes, try it. Ayana, is that how you say it? Ayana? Try this because, and look, you could even improvise. Okay, you know what I mean? But this is the kicker, is that you've got these wine corks. You can get these at the thrift shop. I have seen these for years, and I only started to really go for them when I decided I wanted them for a project. And I didn't really know quite what project, but look, you can even make little, put little pumpkins on there. Okay, so anyway, this is what I'm doing, and this is how I'm gonna do it. So I just want to show you how, a couple of things here, what I'm doing. So let me tie this off now. Now, just like the gnomes that let me bring this gnome over here. Here, this gnome, this is another idea, guys. No, check it out. If this doesn't go at the art and craft fair, nothing will. Look, I put 2 little magnets. I just took this off of my coffee pot, a little espresso pot. I had bought that pot like 10 years ago for my son. I didn't want it. After 10 years, he's not making an espresso, so he gave it to me. So I'm putting gnomes on it. I'm putting gnomes on it, the red pot back there. But yeah, so you put 2 little magnets and make a gnome. If these don't sell at the art and craft fair, seriously, because I'm thinking of myself, what would I be looking for? What would I buy? What would I want? I want something small and cutesy, about $5. I'm not kidding you. Some people do go spend. I do not, and I'm going to show you something else I'm going to make. Okay, I'm going to tie this off, and then I'm going to show you something else. So, just, tie it off. And look, this is the key. I'm just saying, you don't have to do this. This is 100% a wool. Why do you want 100% wool? Because you can do one or two things. You can agitate this with soap and water, okay? And you can felt it, is what I'm saying. You can felt it. Or, let's just clip this. You can, which is what I did with these. You might not be able to tell, but I did a little felting. You see there how the strands are sticking out there, a little fuzzy? So what you can do, when you felt it, a couple things are happening. This is your needle felting needle, okay? A couple of things are happening. You're taking those tails and you're putting them right in. You're felting them right in. There's no messing around. They're not going to come untied. So in my opinion, you're increasing the quality of your product already. But I'm needle felting this. I'm trying to hold it up so you can see. Okay, I'm reinforcing the structure. You see how the little hairs are standing up? That means it's hooking together. It's 100% wool right there. And I'm going to put it like this, and I'm just very gently felting. I'm trying to do this well. Felting around the edges, okay, the bottom part of it, okay, just felting that a little bit together. And what it does is it's pulling it together in the bottom, so they're all looking like that, okay? So what's happening is when you do that is you're tightening the structure. So when you put it, and you can do this with glue. I'm not going to do the glue. The glue, it's seriously, I am you know what? It's like synonymous to me trying to cook in the kitchen. When I'm working with that glue, it is a mess. That's why I'm not crazy about crazy about working with it. But for this project and for the little gnome projects, I am working with it because I can't think of a better way to adhere some of this stuff. Okay, I can't right now. Now with these little mushrooms, the one other thing I'm going to be doing, I'm not doing it right now with you because I'm going to be putting little beads, sparkly little beads, okay? So let me put this over here. Now the other thing I'm doing, okay, so let me just show you something. So you take the wine corks, and yeah, some of them are probably damaged or whatever, but because they were trying to open their wine or whatever. So you want to just make sure your little, before you go too far, make sure your little, it's kind of like this, the hats, I crocheted those too for the little gnomes. But you want to make sure your mushroom is going to set on your little wine cork, okay? Before we do the next step. So you just double check that out. And some of them are nice. Look at this one, it's nice and narrow. I like that. I like the narrow top because it goes on much easier, the little one. But I think, this would need a little glue. It would definitely, you want to glue. Use this. I brought some glue out here, yes. And then I want to show you another project before we go. There's a couple of things. You can use Eileen. This is Eileen's, yeah. This is fabric glue. You want to use your fabric glue, not regular glue. Or you use the quick drying, but you be ready with this one. Fabric fusion. That comes out of the tube fast, let me tell ya. Okay, so I always have this sitting around is the cardboard. I'm working on cardboard. So, this is the thing. Get some fabric, scrap fabrics, doesn't matter what it is. I'm going to go with this little, look how cutesy. Too cute. I can't even stand it. So, look, I'm going to just take a little cardboard here, and we'll put this on. Let me put this down so you can see what's going on. Okay, so we're using the same concept as the gnome. Okay, we're using the same concept. So I'm just going to take this little, looking for my other scissors. Here we go. And so I just want enough fabric that I'm going to be able to make the fabric flush with the bottom of it, you see, flush. And then I'm just going to, cut enough. So now the thing about the wine corks, some of them are more coming in like that, and some of them are straighter. This one's straighter. So this one, we'll use that one for the heck of it. That'll be a little easier to cut the fabric. Okay, so we're just going to roll, just kind of measure it like that. You're just rolling. You want it to overlap a little because you want it to be on there nicely. And you can do that. You can measure it like that and then just kind of cut. Or, you can actually measure it, which I just don't do, as some of you might know. And then we're just going to cut along the top. And then after you do that, you can always trim the top too if it's not, if there's a little piece hanging over there. But that's how I do that. And let's see if this Eileen's this is kind of old. This one, let me get this one over here. I don't know. Nope, we'll use this newer fabric fusion. This pops out really fast. Okay, so you can either or put it right on your fabric, or you can put it on your little, the corkscrew there, either or. And I don't worry too much about the fact that the dabs might kind of make a little impression. I don't worry too much about that. I mean, look how cutesy this is already. Seriously, you know what I'm saying to you? Now you let it dry, you gotta let it dry. And then right here, what we're gonna do here, so you want to get the glue around the edge here. Because what's gonna happen is we're gonna be putting a little string, I'll show you in a minute, through there, and we could even put a little bow. But this is fusion. So what I'm trying to say is it's pretty strong. So you want to get this right on there as quickly as possible. Now see how that's all coming out. So you got to get the cap right on. So I learned that. Get that cap right on. And for your little mushroom, just get it on there really good. Okay. And then what we can even do, so this is what I'm going to do, but you can use any type of, like you can use ribbon. I really like twine. I feel like twine is kind of like a, I don't know, I want to say it's rustic country, it's holiday, it's, you know, it's, seriously, it's like Thanksgiving, Christmas. I just get, even Halloween, I mean, I get all vibes. And then you're going to make the little, just make your little loop. And if you want to, because I'm going to just try something here. Okay, so do my little loop. So, you know, they can hang this in the tree or in their window or wherever they want their little mushroom. Okay, so what I want to do, I'm going to triple knot mine because you can double knot it and do the fisherman's knot, but I'm just going to do triple knot like that. And then what I want to do is put a little ribbon, kind of just like with fabric like this. Okay, so this fabric right here is kind of thick to go around this. So what I'm going to do is just, I'm going to kind of fold this, just fold it in half because I only really need half of it. And I'm going to cut it in half like that. Okay, see that? Now I have a nice thin piece right here. And it doesn't matter if it's super even or not, because what you want to remember is you're working with scrap fabrics, you're kind of doing like a little bohemian, or let's just see how this looks. So I'm going to put this down, and I'm going to, if you notice, we have a seam in the back, and we got a little unevenness there. So we just take these scissors, the little scissors, and just kind of, you know, clip it a little bit. Not too much, because if you go too much, it starts to get really uneven. So we'll just do that, just a little clip, kind of like a little trimming. Now you notice here, you've got the seam. Okay, so that was the only thought I had about that, was the seam, was to put a little bow in the front. Now this is really long, so, but I'm going to do it like that. So the seam is in the back, and just make a very simple little bow. So we're going to do that. And that yellow just kind of brightens it up. And you can actually make like a bow, or you can just make it. I kind of like just doing the little double knot. I really do. And the other thing you can do with this particular idea is you could put, you could put a little piece of, a little bit of glue. Is that just not too cute? Do you just, here, let me turn this up so I can talk to you a little bit more about this. Okay. Is that just too cute? I mean, super simple. Super simple. And I guess, you know, the only thing too is just to, when you put your string or ribbon or what, I know, right? Oh, yeah. Isn't it? Hi, Presley. Hi. It really is. And the cool thing about this too is when you think about this, this is waterproof. It's waterproof. And I believe that I believe this glue too is waterproof. So, I mean, this is something like you could hang outside, you know, maybe on a, anyway, I mean, these are cute ornaments, whether, I just, like, you can really dress them up and make them for Christmas, or you can make them for, you know, Thanksgiving. But I just think they're cute, and it's just another little thing to make with these little wine corks and your fabrics. So I'm gonna make up a bunch of them. I mean, if you're going to art and craft fairs, this I think is the kind of thing that people really think are cutesy and really like, and just thoughtful. You know, maybe they just want to buy a little gift or something for their friend. Look, this dried already. It did. It dried already. So anyway, look, you know, I'm kind of thinking of other things that you can make with this. These little wine corks. This is just what I'm thinking off the top of my head. You tell me. Like a little house? You know what I mean? I don't know. This is kind of round, but you know those whimsical kind of little houses? You could put like a little door here with fabric. Just glue a little piece of rectangle on right there with fabric. And so anyway, I wanted to share, I may try some of those and share that with you. Hi, Liam. Hi. Thanks for being here. So the other thing I wanted to share with you before we go is, and I'm going to pop back on here and share this with you while I'm making it. Let me take these out. These are my little dowels. Those are what I'm putting the little garden decor on, the little dowels, okay? So check this out. You see what this is? This is twine, and this is all scrap fabric. And guess what? It's just crocheted. It's just a little bowl crocheted. So I want to make some of these, maybe with a little handle. I love these. These are super quick. Hi, Paisley. Hi. Yeah, super quick. I'm telling you, this is definitely an hour at the most. Maybe a half an hour. I mean, this is fast. So you want to use a larger hook for this, maybe like an 11, you know, JKL, one of those. And all you need is fabrics like this, you know, just cut them or rip them however you want. Tie them together, make the ball. That doesn't take long either. And then start crocheting away. So you want to make the bottom flat, okay? And then you want to start building up. In other words, start cupping it like, just like we did here with the little mushrooms, okay? And just like you do with a hat. And if you're not sure how to do that, I'll be jumping back on here to share. Because I want to make about, I'd like to get a dozen of these made with all different, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Different, like for Christmas and for Thanksgiving, and just see how they go. And I really wish I could be in more art and craft fairs. I'm going to tell you, it's hard to get in these art and craft fairs nowadays. Everybody's jumping into them. So anyway, I just wanted to jump on here and share. And you know, if you make your little gnomes, you can make the magnets. You can make the mushroom magnets, or you can make your little gnomes ornaments too, and I'll be making them ornaments too. So with that, so thank you for being with me, beautiful TikTok community. And I will see you in the next one. You have a beautiful evening.